Good morning, Vital Men. It's good to be with you on this Monday. We are starting a new teaching series about looking at virtues. We're going to talk about 7 of them, but today we're going to talk about manliness. And manliness is essential in the midst of our Christian faith. And I guess I have a quote here this morning that I'd like to read that comes by James Garfield. He says this: "I mean to make a man myself, and if I succeed in that, I shall succeed in everything else." Man, isn't that a good quote? Because I think manliness has 3 points to it that I think is essential for us today to help us to understand what true manliness is and how we can have that manliness as being Christian men. The first one is this: manliness requires having good men around us. I like what it says in 2 Timothy 2:2. It says it takes men to teach men. Man, isn't that true in the midst of what manliness is all about? Having good other manly men around you to teach you and bring you up, even as with myself as being older, as being now senior, for better words of saying, I still need to have good godly men around me to make me so that I can learn, and it brings inspiration in my life. The second one is this, that manliness leads you to your potential. So isn't that important? See, manliness involves living a life of arete, the excellence born from seeking to use every last drop of one's potential and abilities. Isn't that so true? Leading out your potential, you have to live it. See, in Proverbs 29:25, it says, your potential freedom only comes from God. That God himself brings us to the place of understanding what our potential is in our life. That is living out manliness, living to your potential. The next one is this, is manliness makes you teachable. Here's a quote from Charles Summer. He says this: having ambition to be remembered not as a great lawyer, doctor, merchant, scientist, manufacturer, or scholar, but as a great man, every inch as a king. See, it's important for us is if we're going to be teachable. Proverbs chapter 3, 7-8 says, humility is the starting point for being teachable. How's your humility this morning in order to live a life of manliness? See, guys, manliness isn't something that I think that we just acquire. It's something that we've learned. We learned from our fathers. We learned from good men around us. We get in the Bible, we read about what it means to live a life of manliness. These next 7 weeks, we're going to have a great time of understanding what manliness is all about, what it means to have 7 virtues that can change your life and become the man that God has called you to be. I can't wait for next week. See you then.